Hello everyone, it's your fairy godmother Mint, and welcome back to the Mint Coven. I know what you're saying, who is this fetus face? It's me with no makeup on, because today we're talking about glamour magic, and I thought it would be so much more dramatic if I came in fresh-faced. So what is glamour magic, you ask? Well, glamour magic is when you take on a different persona and appearance, and this is how you're presenting yourself in a certain situation. There have been lots of instances of glamour magic in movies. I'm sure everyone remembers that great scene in The Craft where Sarah changes her eye color and then she changes her hair to blonde, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what? And she shakes it off adorably. A lot of people think that magic is like this instant, poof of change like that, when we are already living in such a magical world. Like, I'm talking into a rectangle and then people around the entire world will be able to see this video. That's incredible to me. So the ability to change our appearance so quickly is quite magical, and glamour magic really does take into account the fact that we have all of these things at our disposal. Yes, serious? Can I help you? You can change your hair color, texture, style. You can change you can change your entire face by contouring with makeup. There's so many different ways that you can present yourself in a completely different light just with the products and things that we have readily available. Bleach and hair dye, like, you can do an incredible glamour with the magic that is the products that people have created. People use glamour magic for lots of different reasons. I think that, like, a lot of the time in media, people will put on a glamour in, these action movies where you're an assassin or you're some kind of secret agent or whatever, and then you kind of put on a disguise, so that you can present yourself in a different way, so that you can hide yourself, hide your true self from the bad guys or whatever. That's very similar to glamour magic, where you are putting on a sort of a costume or a different type of outer shell to keep your personal identity hidden, or to just set aside your identity to present as something or someone else. One thing that they don't often talk about is how glamour magic is used for protection. People often use glamour magic for protection, to protect their own identity from outside people, from people who may want to harm them, or people who kind of perceive them as someone who can be easily harmed. People often use glamours also just to present themselves in a way that makes them feel more confident, happier, and to protect their own personal emotional state by putting on a shield against the world's harshness. People often use glamour magic as a result or a response to trauma. I'm not just saying this about witches, I'm saying this about anyone. People do this very often, where they have a traumatic event or something happens to them that makes them feel like they are vulnerable and that they need to present themselves in a way that seems like they are not vulnerable. People do this all of the time. You see it all of the time. In people that they change their look, they change their attitude, they change who they are. So they created a glamour. I was Stephanie, and then Stephanie went through some crap, and so I changed mine, and now I'm Cruella. You know what I mean? The ultimate glamour is Cruella. Has everyone seen that movie? It's so good. I love that. That was most definitely a glamour. Her name wasn't Stephanie, what was it? Her name was what? Estella. She put on this incredible glamour. She put on this incredible personality, this confident, bold person who got things done. And so when she needed to get things done, and she needed to find out answers and do whatever she felt like she needed to do, she put on Cruella, and that was a beautiful representation of glamour magic. Very much dips into that protection aspect, where she had to protect Estella from losing her job and from seeming like someone who could be stepped on and pushed around and not listened to. She put on Cruella, and she became someone who was bold and daring and loud, and who took charge. So I think that was a wonderful representation of glamour magic in that film. I love that movie. I thought it was fantastic to watch. The visuals, the clothing, oh my god. One thing that's really important when performing a glamour is that you decide how deep you want to go. Remember, a lot of actors getting into a role and just like really digging into that character so much they feel like they've lost a bit of themselves, or that part of that character becomes a bit of who they are outside of making the film. So, you know, you have to decide like how deep you want to go, how long is your glamour going to last, because some people will work glamour and it will last for years, you know, where you feel like you are protecting yourself against emotional distress by putting on this glamour, and then it feels so great to have this glamour on, you just keep it on for a long time. I have plenty of friends that have done this. I've done it myself, absolutely, where I put myself into a little like cuddly cocoon of like pastel clouds, and that took care of me until I felt like I was okay again, like I was okay to present myself as what I wanted to present myself as again. You know, there's nothing wrong with this, nothing wrong with, you know, protecting yourself. And then when you feel like you have, you know, grown to the part where you can bust out of your shell and be who you want to be and present yourself fully again, then, you know, do so. Really common. It can be really helpful, you know. A friend of mine is in a band and they wrote a song called Boohoo Baby, and that reminded me so much of a very particular type of person who is very manipulative and has this idea that all of their feelings, all of their emotions, everything they go through is so unique to them, and that they don't, you know, other people don't feel the same way that they do, and they, you know, they have this sort of, you know, need to be coddled and to be held, and you have to treat them differently, and you can't do that because I don't like it, and, you know, a very like selfish and self-centered type of person. And it made me think about the people around that type of person. I get a lot of messages from people where they ask how to protect themselves or what to do when they're in a situation where a family member has that type of personality. Say it's their mother has that kind of personality where they need to be coddled all the time, and you have to, you know, walk on eggshells for them, and they expect people to just really treat them like they are a princess, and to give them as much. Look at this princess right here. as I'm saying it, but just to treat them like they, you know, deserve special attention from everybody around them, and they do so in such a loud and such a, you know, obnoxious and boisterous way that it makes the people around them feel small, and like their accomplishments aren't as you know, excited, and they don't feel like they can celebrate themselves. They don't feel like they can, you know, project or present themselves in a way that would war with this other person's personality. So that you shrink yourself and make yourself smaller in order to make space for this other person who needs so much from everybody. And that made me think of a very particular type of glamour. Not for the, you know, over needy, look at me person, not for the boohoo baby, but for the people who are around them that also want to make sure that their voice is heard, and that they are able to celebrate themselves, and they're able to feel good despite this other person who was making other people feel badly. So that gets me into my glamour. So when I do glamour magic in particular, because I'm a nature witch, I always draw on nature for my glamour. Some people will take on certain types of like celebrities, personalities, or, you know, people that they admire, and they say, oh, that's a really wonderful, like, bold way of being, I want to embody that. But for me, I always think about, you know, plants and animals, and sometimes insects. Mainly, the insect that I was thinking of for this look is the beetle. Beetles are wonderful, incredible representations of being beautiful and being strong and being able to, and being meticulous and being articulate, and also being very protected. They are completely protected. They have this wonderful, gorgeous outer shell that is hard and protects them from everything else. And they are revered in cultures for being able to draw in the sun, draw in that confident energy, draw in that bright and shining and bold light. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect for anyone who was in a situation where other people are just completely drowning them out because they want everyone to pay attention to them, not caring about what's going on with anybody else. So that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to put on a beetle glamour for you. So let's get started. I was given some lovely makeup products from Medusa's Makeup. If you don't know Medusa's Makeup, they're a wonderful small business. Beautiful, vegan, cruelty-free makeup. I actually got some gunmetal glitter from them a long time ago, and I loved it so much. It's gone, but I was really excited when I saw this. That color, this is liquid eyeshadow. Is that not insane? It's so bright and beautiful, and I was like, oh, Beetle inspired glamour, so let's go. No.
Hi, I know you're really busy doing your work and stuff, but I just made a huge meal in the kitchen and I need your help cleaning it up. I know you're doing your work, but like, I made a big mess. I know you'll help me, so come help me, please. Please. Please.
No.
Hey baby, I know you ain't really mad at me. I mean, it was just a kiss. I mean, she mean nothing to me, girl. You my real girl, right? You'll forgive me, right?
No.
I'm really sad. I know you're going through shit too, but like, can we talk about me more?
No. And there you go. It's really important to remember that Glamour Magic isn't just about changing your outfit and your makeup or your hair. It's about really embodying this character that you're creating. You are thinking about how they talk, what their voice sounds like, what their jewelry is going to look like, what kind of accessories they have, what kind of hairstyle they have, what kind of style they wear, and you're going to think about what their entire life encompasses, what their hobbies are, what kind of reactions they have to different things that are happening to them. Everything about this person you're becoming, you have to think about. Every aspect of their personality. And then you have to really embody that. A ritual for Glamour Magic is very simple. You can just sit with your face. Sit with your face. You can just look into a mirror and really just envision what this person looks like and envision those features on your own face. You can do this with a black candle, you can do this with a white candle, of course. I like to use a black candle just because I like to use obsidian when I'm doing any kind of like glamour magic because of the reflective properties. So I'm reflecting this person back onto my face, you know what I mean? So I do like to use a black candle with glamour magic, but it really depends on what feels right to you. Like I said, always look up your color associations and decide which association makes sense for the glamour that you're putting on. Really visualize that person's features on top of your face. Embody every aspect of this person that you've created. Really think about like what kind of parents they would have had, you know, just every detail put into that. And prepare for this. Prepare for this glamour for a while if you can. Just like any other kind of spell or any other kind of ritual you're doing, you're going to want to prepare for it ahead of time so that you have all of that energy built up by the time you actually do it. The longer it takes for you to prepare, like the longer you set it up, the stronger it will be, the more energy will be behind it. So think about those things as well. If you have a hard time visualizing any of the work that you need to do, like envisioning their face on your face, get a picture of someone who you think embodies this character and look at it, you know, study it, study their mannerisms, study how they walk, how they talk, if they have a different type of accent, you know, really think about all of those things. You're creating this character for yourself, think about how you want to see this character. And find that image, find things close enough to that image in magazines, on TV, you know, on social media. Really piece together this puzzle because it is a puzzle that you're putting together and that you're kind of sliding onto yourself like a weird snake skin. But really get as much into the details of this character as you, it sounded like I said details, the details of this character as you can. Something that you can do to really put yourself in their position or put yourself into this new character is to listen to music that you think they would listen to. really listen to it, like get into it, learn a new song, learn something that this person would know. If this person would speak another language, maybe learn some phrases in that language. Like really, really go for it. And then take that time to look at yourself in the mirror and say things the way that they would say it. Practice. This is like method acting, really. Practice how this person lives and then put them on like a mask, like Face Off. Remember that movie Face Off? So cheesy. Still one of my favorite movies. Take his face off and put the new face on and become this person. Big shout out to my friend Connie Glynn and their band Snaggletooth. Absolutely love them. The song Boohoo Baby is one of my favorite songs now. I love the EP so much. Please check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. I just genuinely love them. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, magical day. If you've done Glamor Magic before, please tell me about it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. It is such a fascinating type of ritual to do, and I really enjoy talking about it and hearing people's experiences with it. Okay, again, have a beautiful, magical evening.